sentiments were mildly hurt by the rejection of partisan proposals in the U.S. Senate to replay the spending cuts which are set to start today. The spending reductions would be up to $85 billion over this fiscal year and could be up to $1.2 trillion over 9 years. The Congressional Budget Office expected that this would reduce U.S. growth this year by as much as 0.6%. On the other hand, sentiments were also weighed down by weaker than expected manufacturing from China. The official Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index dropped to 50.1 in February versus expectation of a rise to 50.5. The HSBC Manufacturing PMI also finalized to be 50.4, much lower than the prior month's 52.3. The Forex markets are basically stuck in tight range even though some strength is seen in the dollar against the Swiss franc and Canadian dollar. In Japan, it's reported that Prime Minister Abe will hold confirmation hearings for nominations of Kuroda as Bank of Japan governor early next week. The major opposition, the Democratic Party of Japan, has already indicated support for Kuroda, and thus markets are expecting smooth passage of his appointment. Latest U.S. Treasury figures showed that Japan's holding of U.S. securities jumped to $1.84 trillion at the end of last June, surpassing China, whose holdings dropped to $1.59 trillion. Data from Japan saw National Consumer Price Index score drop 0.2% year-on-year in January, unchanged from December's figure. Tokyo CPI dropped to 0.6% year-on-year in February, down from the prior month's 0.5% drop year-on-year. The unemployment rate was unchanged at 4.2% in January, while household spending rose 2.4% year-on-year. In the U.S., Chicago Fed Evans urged Fed not to undermine our own policies and remove accommodation prematurely, as the Japanese did. He also warned to be mindful of this danger. We must guard against complacency and not deviate in our approach. Evans noted there remains plenty of headwinds and downside risks that can impede our progress. Though, he's optimistic that we have appropriate policies in place to help the economy achieve escape velocity by 2014. Looking ahead, Purchasing Managers Index data will be the main focus in European session, including Swiss SVME PMI, Eurozone PMI Manufacturing Final, UK PMI Manufacturing. The Eurozone will also release